I don't know what the issue is. I just feel like I can't sign any clients. I must be repelling them or something. Girl, I know what your issue is. Let's break it down. Do you feel like you are going after virtual assistant clients and it just keeps failing on you? You may be making one of these 5 mistakes, so I'm here to help you help yourself. Let's do this thing. Hey friends, I'm Abby Ashley, the founder of The Virtual Savvy. Here on my YouTube channel, I talk all the time about virtual assistants living that freedom life, working for yourself. If you are interested in learning how to start a virtual assistant business and to grow it into a 6 or 7 figure income for yourself, make sure that you subscribe to my channel and click the bell to be notified every time I release new content. I love sharing these videos with you and helping you find that work from home freedom lifestyle. After training over 5,000 students inside of our signature training programs and through counseling over 100,000 in our social communities, online Facebook groups, etc., I've seen some mistakes been made over and over again, and I'm finding that they are absolutely repelling clients. And so I want to share these mistakes with you so that you don't make them. So let's jump into the 5 mistakes that virtual assistants commonly make that are actually repelling your clients. The first mistake that I see many virtual assistants make is that they assume that their client knows what an independent contractor is. There's a reason that you started a virtual assistant business, and one of those reasons is likely the freedom and flexibility that being an independent contractor is. An independent contractor is simply someone who chooses their own rate, they choose their own working hours, they choose their own methods and systems for working, including invoices, they choose when and how they'll work, they provide their own materials, etc. And this is probably one of the reasons that drew you to virtual assistants. You love that freedom, flexibility. However, I do want to note that many beginning business owners don't necessarily understand that concept. So when they're hiring you, they might not know that they can't necessarily say, hey, I need you to be available from 8 to 2, because that is what you tell an employee, not an independent contractor. And sometimes, and I've seen this a lot inside of our Facebook community, is that people will get really, really upset. Virtual assistants will be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this client. When in reality, it might just be an ignorance issue. It might just be that this client simply doesn't know. And so the solution to this is to be really, really clear when you are explaining how you work and your boundaries to your clients. One of the things that I recommend for all virtual assistants to do is to have a really set, clear onboarding process. This could be a welcome packet. It definitely should be outlined in your contract. And I normally recommend making this an actual Zoom or face-to-face meeting as well. This is a time where you go through how you will work. This includes your pricing. This includes how you will invoice. This includes when you expect invoices to be paid and what will happen if that invoice isn't paid. It includes, response times. Hey, if you send me an email, I'm not necessarily going to respond immediately. Expect about a 24-hour response time for all emails or whatever your methods are. Setting those boundaries from the beginning will help create clear communication lines so that your client knows not to step over those boundaries. If you don't communicate the boundaries, they don't know that they're stepping over them when they do. So that's why it's in your court to really, really communicate this well when you're starting out with a new client, especially a client who has never worked with a virtual assistant before. The second mistake that I see virtual assistants make on a regular basis is that they actually stop their marketing whenever they have a full client load. And yes, this is in a sense repelling clients because you're not attracting any more clients, right? Now, when you have a full client load, let's say you've sold out your services, yay! Let's say you sold out your services 100%. I want you to focus on your clients. I want you to give them the time and attention that they deserve. And you may not even take on any more clients. You may say, hey, I can work 20 hours a week. I have client work for 20 hours a week, and that's all I want to take on. However, the solution is that you continue marketing even when your client load is full. And here's the reason why. We all know that most virtual assistants have between 4 and 7 clients to replace their full-time income. But at any moment, one of those clients could choose not to work with you anymore. Now, hopefully you have inside of your contract that they have to give you some kind of notice, so you have a little bit of time to recoup. But my recommendation is that you always keep a little bit of a pipeline going. That could be something as simple as an email list or a wait list, right? These things are going to help you build connections. At the very least, spend an hour a week just forming connections. Even if it's not necessarily growing an active wait list, if you're still attending a weekly networking meeting or still going and interacting interacting in Facebook groups once a week, this is still a great way to continue to build those relationships so that you're just in the know, so that you are knowing if you were to lose a client or if you decide to expand your business beyond yourself and hire subcontractors, that there's still a pipeline of people that could be potential clients. You don't want to be left so in the distance that you've been, not marketing for months and months, and now you have to re-engage with people that you haven't engaged with in months. Let's go ahead and keep those communication lines open. This is super important. The third mistake that I see virtual assistants make, especially newer virtual assistants, is setting their rate too low. Now, as an independent contractor, you do get to set your own rate. I can't tell you what to charge. This is something you get to decide for yourself. However, most starting virtual assistants doing general admin services will start the rate at $25, $30, even $35 an hour. And I recommend this because remember, as an independent contractor, it's not the same as a W-2 employee. You do have to factor in that you're going to be paying self-employment taxes. You do have to factor in that you are buying your own equipment, potentially paying for your own healthcare. So you're not necessarily just making, $20 an hour. You're making $20 an hour minus your operating expenses, taking that remaining profit, setting aside a portion for taxes, and then paying yourself out of that. And so for that reason, I really recommend doing the math to understand, what do I need as an actual take-home pay? If you have 5 clients on $500 packages, yes, you're going to be making $2,500 a month, but potentially you're going to have, $500 a month in operating expenses, which means you'll have $2,000 profit. Out of that profit, you need to set about a third of that aside for taxes, and the rest of that is your take-home pay. So just really consider this whenever you are deciding on your rate. The solution to the problem of setting your rate too low is really understanding your numbers. Go through this activity where you decide, what do I want my actual take-home pay to be? Figure out how you can price your packages accordingly, and then decide on what your hourly rate is based off of that. Remember, you don't have to stay with the same hourly rate that you choose in the beginning. One of the things that we teach here at the Virtual Savvy is a concept called incremental pricing. Incremental pricing means that, hey, I know that eventually my rate needs to be $30, $35 an hour. I really don't feel more comfortable than starting off at $25. So go ahead and get your first client at $25 an hour. Once you've gotten that first client, your experience is growing, your confidence should grow. Go ahead and get your second client at $27 an hour. Get your third at $30 an hour. You can increase your rate slightly with every new client so that you're really quickly getting to that rate that you know you need at the end of the day. Have you made any of these mistakes before? It's okay, we've all done it. Let me know which one that you have made. Let's do some honesty hour here. Which mistake have you done? 1, 2, or 3? Let me know in the comments. Mistake number 4 that I see virtual assistants making all the time is getting stuck in our perfectionism. One of the core values that we hold so dearly here at the Virtual Savvy is our saying, action over perfection. Why is action over perfection so important? Because perfectionism, which we all tend to do, I'm raising my hand, self-proclaimed perfectionist right here, we all can tend toward perfectionism, and there is something to be said for excellence, right? Like, I want you to do good, excellent work for your clients and for yourself. But when we really steer from excellence into perfectionism, it can stop us from taking true action. And if you find that your perfectionistic tendencies are actually preventing you from moving forward, then you've crossed that boundary from excellence into perfectionism. And only you can know this. One of the solutions to perfectionistic tendencies is to set yourself a deadline for major decisions. For instance, if you have found yourself really hemming and hawing over what is my business name going to be, my recommendation for you is to set yourself a deadline and tell somebody and be accountable to that deadline. So it's Monday afternoon, you tell your accountability partner, hey, by Friday at the end of the day, whatever business name I come up with, that's what I'm gonna stick with. And you hold yourself accountable to that. Setting yourself a deadline for major decisions is a great tool in order to help move yourself forward when you find yourself becoming a little too perfectionistic. Mistake number 5 almost pains me to say it. Oh, I can't stand it at all. It's working without a contract. You guys, I cannot stress this enough. Please, 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 please do not work without a contract. It's a way not only to protect yourself, but to protect your clients as well. Providing a contract not only makes you appear more professional, because it is more professional to do so, it also protects you. It protects your clients. It outlines really clear boundaries. It gives your clients a clear direction on the deliverables that they're going to be receiving, and it sets those boundaries that we talked about are so important in the beginning of this video. If you are not already using a contract with your current virtual assistant clients, or if you don't have one for once you start signing clients, guys, please obtain one. It is so important to have a good contract. I will say this as well, a contract that is just copy pasted off the internet is not a good contract, right? You need a contract that was written for virtual assistants by someone who understands our industry. If that's something you're looking for, the solution is our VA Toolbox. I have a link to it below this video. The Toolbox not only includes a virtual assistant contract, but it also includes a video explaining what the contract means. There's a lot of legalese inside of contracts, and so it's important that you understand anything that you ever sign your name to. You need to understand what it actually means. So there's a video that explains what the contract means. There's also a subcontracting agreement, which I think is really cool. If you ever begin to bring on a team, you have somebody else doing some of the work inside of your business for your clients, you need to have a strong contract in place for that as well. Protecting yourself legally is one of the most important things you can do for your business. So make sure you're not making the mistake of not having a good contract. All right, that's all I have for today's video. I hope that you have enjoyed it. As I sign off, I have one question I want to ask you. What is a mistake that I didn't mention in this video? Maybe it's one that you've made yourself. Maybe it's one that you've seen other VAs make. I would love to hear in the comments, what mistakes did I miss inside of this video? Maybe I'll make a part 2 in the future. All right, everybody, have an awesome rest of the day. If you want more information on how to grow a virtual assistant business, I have tons more videos on the site. Let's just keep binge watching. Maybe over here, maybe this one. Ooh, it's a really good one. Which one? Which do I choose?